Hi guys, this is 10 Curtain J back with another game from my tournament games for 2016. This is actually one of my wins. I was really happy about this one. This happened on a Wednesday night at Redcliffe, so the curtain rises at Redcliffe, so to speak. I was playing Tony Weller, who's a 1700 rated player in Queensland. He plays a bit around the place. He's known for being a bit of a strong tactical player. I really haven't had much success with him in the past. He's in 3 tournament matches he's had the better of me, but it changed on Wednesday night. I got this really nice win against him, so I thought I'd share this one with you. Now, I decided to play D4. I'm an E4 player, but I decided to start with D4 just because, well, he plays some really strange Sicilian variations. I think they're called Sveshnikov, Kalashnikov, or I think he also plays a Pelican. I'm not a big fan. Like, I don't really know how to negotiate them too well. So I decided, let's mix it up. Let's play D4. Responds with usual knight F6, C4, E6. So we're automatically going into a Nimzo. Knight C3, and then bishop B4. Wasn't sure what to do here. I know a friend of mine, Tyson Walker, I highly recommend you check out his videos and his stuff out there. Really funny guy, good tactical player, plays really aggressive openings such as the 4-pawn attack, the dragon. He loves playing the dragon. Good guy, but he's used knight F3 against me in the past, which is called the Kasparov variation, which apparently has lots of tactical nuances or whatever. So apparently I sort of transposed, but instead I just decided to play safe with just A3, keeping a solid position, where you continue with C5, which is a common Nimzo. I don't even play the Nimzo, but apparently this is a common idea. Just wanted to hold on to that pawn, and he jumps in with the knight, and I thought that was premature. I mean, he's trying to overload the knight, but I just decided to block with the bishop, and I think he makes one of his first real mistakes. He decides to swap off one of his only developed pieces, breaks a common rule, or well, it should be a common rule to all chess players when you start out. You don't develop the same piece twice in the opening, or you try not to. It's not a great idea. So I just took back, plays queen a5. I decided to continue developing, bishop d3. Knight comes out to c6 and I castle. And here I was feeling pretty happy. Everything was looking pretty safe. I wasn't too stressed. At this point, he continues with castling, and then I play queen c2. I'm just eyeing that pawn onto h6. I mean, sorry, not h6, h7. And then Tony does play h6, but I thought that was a mistake just because, well, you're still allowing my bishop to get to the h square. It proves to be really costly later on, as you'll find out. But I think if it would have been better had he played g6, because although, okay, his dark squared bishop is on the side of the board, is really blunting my white squared pieces now. But instead, so he plays h6, and here I decide to just go ahead with knight e2. Now, I could have played knight e4, but I didn't like the idea of d5, or even, I mean, who knows, he might have even gone ahead with f5, but he would have found some way that he's an aggressive player. He would have probably tried to kick the knight. I didn't like that idea, so I bring the knight back, and now that bishop's really out of place, so if he's not careful, he's going to lose it to a3 on the next turn. So he decides to rightfully swap off. Could have swapped with either knight, but I decided to keep the knights there. I try to hold on to my pieces if I can during the opening. So I went e takes. My mate Tyson also recommended I could have played a3, immediately kicking the bishop, then going into something like kicking the queen, and then taking back, getting a nice pawn center, but which I could have done, but I decided to go about it a slightly different way. I mean, Engine kind of likes white here, but I decided it was best just to swap off the pawn with e takes d4, bishop retreats. Now playing a3 with the obvious threat up and coming. He goes ahead and plays d5, attacking the center, but he's got to worry about that queen, right? So I just immediately hit the queen. She flies back. And now I wasn't sure what to do here, because I could have played c5. Another strong player told me c5 might have been a better idea, but I really liked this idea. What I wanted to go for was something like b5, and then after knight a5, taking more space. Those bishops are just out the game now, and I can play a4, swing the rook over, do whatever really, and maybe play knight e5. But it's looking really nice for me, I thought. But that didn't happen. Instead, Tony made a real big mistake. He decides to try to complicate matters by, after I play c5, he decides to take with d takes c4. Give you a second to see if it can work out what I played next. Alright, my move was bishop h7 check. It's a bit of an intermezzo because the whole point is it's protected by the queen. After king h8, he realised that he just outright loses his knight, and there's nowhere to hang on to it. And if you think that instead with king there and pawn takes, if you think maybe pawn to g6, that is really no good, because I'm just going to give it back, and all of a sudden his position's blown wide open. Knight's going to fly into that square there, and it's just messy. It's horrible. He didn't want any part of that, so he decided to, after I took his knight, he actually played f5, in which case I decided just to retreat to g6, now being up the piece. Then he makes what I reckon was another blunder. He plays queen d5. So now I'm going to lose that pawn anyway. I could have taken the bishop, but for me that just would have served him. It develops one of his pieces. So I just attack the queen once with knight f4, queen takes, attack her twice with knight e5, and after queen d6, I had a whole bunch of things I could have done here. I could have played bishop to h5, I could have played bishop to f7, but in the end I don't know, just got greedy. I saw pawn, I took pawn, so queen takes c4. So bishop's targeting the knight, but here this is really, I didn't see a problem with this. Like, again, another friend recommended I go ahead straight away with knight f7 check, rook takes, bishop takes, and now the thing is bishop can't take that pawn because then this rook's going to swing over, and things are just looking absolutely disgusting now for black. But that didn't happen. Instead, so when I took the pawn and he played bishop f6, I played now bishop f7, coming in with that knight threat, wanting to win the rook. He decides to target at knight, and I can't get too fancy here I considered maybe playing my g knight and then playing, I don't know, something like this, so check, but after king there, check, there's no way to hang on to that bishop, and I've got an edge, but it's nowhere near as clean. So I just decided to play the logical bishop f7 after g5. I went straight forward with knight f g6 check, just going to win that exchange. After king g7, knight takes rook, king takes, and then I just safely retreat the bishop to h5. So here I was very happy, and after he ends up playing here, trying to trap in the bishop, I found a nice way to just simplify getting into a clear winning endgame, because I'm up a whole rook now because of that exchange, because I won the piece earlier on. So I ended up playing queen b4, and Tony said he almost resigned here because there's just no way out. He tried one last trick with bishop takes, so I can't take with queen, because then he's right back in the game with bishop takes. But instead, I play d takes, and he can't take because the queen's pinned, so queen takes, a takes, and this game's basically over. And I played rook d1. I'll go through the last few moves here. It's just a formality than anything else. But I was really happy with how I played in this game because all my pieces came into it. I think he kind of really misplayed in the opening. He didn't play so well. But all in all, I was pretty happy that I spotted the knight maneuvers, gaining tempos on the queen, and then I was able to pull off that attack. And I was also very happy that I spotted bishop h7 check really early. So after here, I could have played f3 as well, just nullifying that attack, and maybe a few moves here. It would have had nothing to say at this point, but Instead I decided to play h3, which is still fine, swap off the bishops, and he goes for a cheap rook g8 check. I don't care, he'll check me, but the king takes pawn, rook takes, and since my rook comes to c1 and there's no way to stop the upcoming checks, he played on a few other moves, but at this point when I played rook check, and rook takes, he just resigned. So I was really happy, and again, how I played this game, but I've had more than my share of really horrific train smashes against this guy, and this is my first win. So yeah, things went well. I'm not sure if I'll run d4 more often, but I decided to just bring it out because I really hate his Sicilian variations. So I don't know, that's my first major scalp of 2016. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is 10 Curtain J signing off.